In 1966, Abu Dhabi was a collection of fishing settlements. Today, the family that rules it controls a trillion-dollar investment machine, enough to buy every major sports league on Earth and still have billions left over. Their personal fortune alone dwarfs most billionaire dynasties, while their decisions quietly shape global markets and politics. But how did the Al Nahyan family turn oil-rich sand into sovereign power? To grasp the true scale of the world's richest royal empire, you have to go back to where it all began. In the summer of 1966, a quiet but decisive transition swept through Abu Dhabi. Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan assumed leadership of a territory defined by dust, salt flats, and the rhythmic call of pearl divers. Oil had only just begun to flow, but Zayed saw past the sudden promise of riches. His first major act was not to spend, but to save. He issued a directive that would become his doctrine, that the wealth beneath the sand was not a windfall to be consumed, but a trust for generations yet unhewn. Every barrel of oil, every dirham earned, was to be invested, never squandered. He declared they must not rely on oil alone, insisting that the true measure of leadership was to leave the land stronger than it was found. This philosophy shaped every decision that followed. Instead of palaces or fleeting luxuries, Zayed ordered roads to connect scattered villages, clinics where there had been none, and schools where only tents once stood. He demanded that oil revenue build the foundation of a new society, not just satisfy immediate wants. The future, he believed, belonged to those who prepared for it. By anchoring Abu Dhabi's fortune to a creed of deferred consumption, Sheikh Zayed set the stage for a transformation that would ripple far beyond the desert. On December 2, 1971, 7 emirates joined together to form the United Arab Emirates. In that moment, a patchwork of fishing villages and desert outposts became a single nation, but the new federation was little more than a blueprint on paper, and what followed was a race to transform oil wealth into a living, breathing country. Within months, bulldozers carved highways across the sand, linking Abu Dhabi to Dubai and Sharjah for the first time. Fresh water flowed through new desalination plants, ending centuries of dependence on brackish wells. Hospitals opened their doors in places where modern medicine had been unknown. Schools appeared, staffed by teachers from across the Arab world, offering lessons in air-conditioned classrooms instead of open tents. Electricity grids powered up, lighting streets that had never seen a lamppost. Ports expanded to handle cargo from Europe and Asia, while airports replaced makeshift airstrips. Every project was built at breakneck speed, funded by oil revenues that poured into state coffers. By the end of the decade, more than 1,000 kilometers of paved roads stretched across the Emirates. Sheikh Zayed insisted that every dirham spent on infrastructure was an investment in nationhood, not just convenience. The result was a country that seemed to materialize almost overnight, a place where the foundations of modern life were laid in less than a generation. The institutions born in these years would become the machinery behind one of the world's most powerful sovereign wealth engines. In 1976, Abu Dhabi launched a financial engine that would quietly reshape global markets. The Abu Dhabi Investment Authority, ADIA, became the vault that would store, multiply, and project the Emirates' wealth across the world. Today, it stands as one of the largest sovereign wealth funds ever assembled, with estimated assets ranging from $900 billion to well over $1 trillion. That figure is almost impossible to grasp. If ADIA decided to, it could buy every single team in the NFL, NBA, MLB, and Premier League, and still have hundreds of billions left over. This is not the fortune of a single billionaire or even a wealthy family. It is a reservoir of capital that rivals the GDP of most nations on Earth. ADIA's portfolio stretches across continents, quietly shaping skylines and economies far from the Gulf. In London, the fund owns slices of Canary Wharf and luxury hotels near Hyde Park. In New York, ADIA holds stakes in office towers that define the Manhattan skyline. Tokyo, Sydney, Paris, each city hosts properties and investments with ADIA's fingerprints, though few residents ever realize it. But real estate is just one chapter of the playbook. ADIA's holdings span major technology firms, healthcare systems, and infrastructure projects on 6 continents. The fund's strategy machine is built on diversification, ensuring that no single sector or country could ever threaten its stability. It is a silent partner in global commerce, collecting returns from airports, toll roads, and energy grids while avoiding the spotlight. Unlike hedge funds or private equity giants, ADIA answers only to the rulers of Abu Dhabi. Its mandate is generational, to protect and grow the Emirates' fortune for decades, even centuries to come. Every dollar invested is designed to outlast oil, to secure a future where Abu Dhabi's influence persists long after the wells run dry. The sheer scale of ADIA's capital gives it power that most governments can only imagine. It can sway property markets, steer corporate mergers, and serve as a financial backstop in times of crisis. Yet despite its reach, ADIA operates with a level of discretion that borders on secrecy. Few outside the world's financial capitals know where its money flows, or just how much of their city is owned by a sovereign fund half a world away. This is wealth on a sovereign scale, measured not in mansions or luxury cars, but in the quiet, steady accumulation of assets that shape the world's economic future. Mubadala Investment Company stands as Abu Dhabi's engine for building the industries of tomorrow, while the Abu Dhabi Investment Authority quietly accumulates global assets. Mubadala takes a hands-on approach, targeting sectors that will define the next century. With over $300 billion under management, Mubadala's mission is not simply to invest, but to create, shaping entire markets and forging partnerships that stretch from the Gulf to Silicon Valley. The company's roots trace back to 2002, when Abu Dhabi's leadership recognized that oil alone could not secure the Emirates' future. Mubadala was tasked with a new mandate: to transform wealth into capability. It began with aerospace. In Al Ain, Strata Manufacturing started producing aircraft components for Boeing and Airbus, placing Abu Dhabi on the global aviation map. The goal was clear: to move from oil exporter to high-tech manufacturer. Semiconductors soon followed. Mubadala acquired stakes in companies like Global Foundries, building one of the world's largest independent chip foundries. This wasn't just about profits, it was about ensuring Abu Dhabi had a seat at the table in the digital age, where microchips are as critical as oil ever was. The company's joint venture model brought in international expertise while keeping strategic control close to home. Artificial intelligence is now a central focus. Mubadala has funneled billions into artificial intelligence research, data centers, and quantum computing ventures. Through partnerships with global tech firms and the creation of homegrown startups, Abu Dhabi is positioning itself as a leader in fields that will drive the next wave of economic growth. The company's portfolio stretches from healthcare innovation in Europe to renewable energy projects in North America and logistics platforms across Asia. Every move reflects a deliberate strategy. The goal is to diversify away from hydrocarbons by building sovereign capability in sectors that matter. Mubadala's investments aren't passive bets. They are blueprints for industrial ecosystems designed to anchor new clusters of talent, technology, and capital within Abu Dhabi. This approach has made the company a magnet for joint ventures, drawing in aerospace giants, chip designers, and artificial intelligence pioneers eager to share in the Emirates' ambition. With assets exceeding $300 billion, Mubadala operates as more than a fund. It is a state-backed architect of industry, using its capital to shape the future of global technology and manufacturing. The result is a second pillar of Al Nahyan power, one that doesn't just own wealth, but actively engineers the engines of tomorrow's economy. Abu Dhabi National Oil Company, ADNOC, stands at the heart of the Al Nahyan financial empire. Its operations stretch from the desert oil fields to refineries, export terminals, and global shipping lanes. The scale is staggering. ADNOC controls proven reserves of 120 billion stock tank barrels of oil, placing the UAE among the world's top 6 holders of crude. Every day, ADNOC's fields pump out up to 4.85 million barrels, enough to meet the daily oil needs of Germany, France, and Italy combined. This is not just about extraction. ADNOC's strategy is to maintain spare capacity, giving Abu Dhabi flexibility in global markets and leverage within OPEC Plus negotiations. When prices swing, ADNOC can ramp up or dial back output, acting as a stabilizer for both the local economy and international supply. The company's ambitions are matched by its investment. Between 2023 and 2027, ADNOC has committed $150 billion to capital expenditures. That money funds everything from brownfield redevelopments in aging onshore fields to new drilling in the Gasha concession, one of the largest offshore sour gas projects on the planet. The plan is clear: reach a production capacity of 5 million barrels per day by 2027, with sights set even higher for the next decade. This expansion is not just about volume, it is about securing Abu Dhabi's role as a reliable supplier in a world where energy security and market share are constantly in flux. Hydrocarbon revenue flows directly from ADNOC into the veins of Abu Dhabi's sovereign wealth machinery. The cash generated by every barrel sold funds the investments of ADIA and Mubadala, underwriting everything from skyscrapers in Manhattan to semiconductor plants in Singapore. ADNOC's operations also drive local economic development. Through its in-country value program, the company has injected $60 billion into the UAE economy over 5 years, supporting thousands of jobs and building industrial capacity at home. Partial privatizations and joint ventures bring in global partners, adding expertise and capital while keeping ultimate control in Al Nahyan hands. ADNOC's approach is increasingly technical. Enhanced oil recovery, digital monitoring, and carbon capture projects aim to keep the company competitive as the world shifts toward lower carbon energy. The Murban crude brand is marketed as a low-carbon benchmark, and new LNG terminals are doubling Abu Dhabi's gas export capacity. But at its core, ADNOC remains the engine that powers the entire Al Nahyan system. Its reserves, its capacity, and its relentless reinvestment ensure that the family's financial empire is not just vast, but enduring, capable of funding ambition on a global scale for generations to come. Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan did not inherit a static fortune. He inherited a mandate to reimagine Abu Dhabi's place in the world. For MBZ, the future is not written in oil, but in algorithms, data, and renewable energy. Under his direction, Abu Dhabi's investment engines have shifted focus from hydrocarbons to knowledge industries, setting a new course for the Emirates' next chapter. Artificial intelligence stands at the core of this strategy. Billions of dollars flow into artificial intelligence research labs, data centers, and technology partnerships that stretch from the Gulf to California. The Technology Innovation Institute and the Mohammed bin Zayed University of Artificial Intelligence are not just academic ventures. They are designed to make Abu Dhabi a global node for machine learning and quantum computing. These institutions attract top minds from around the world, nurturing a generation of engineers and scientists who will shape the digital economy. Defense is another pillar. Abu Dhabi invests heavily in autonomous systems, cybersecurity, and advanced manufacturing. Local firms now design drones, robotics, and surveillance platforms that serve both national security and export markets. The aim is clear: build a sovereign capability that reduces reliance on foreign suppliers and positions the UAE as a regional technology leader. Renewable energy is the third front. Masdar City, launched in 2006, is a showcase for sustainable urban design and clean technology. Solar farms, wind projects, and green hydrogen initiatives now stretch across the UAE and beyond. Masdar's investments span more than 40 countries, from North Africa to the United States, generating gigawatts of clean energy and billions of dollars in returns. This is not a symbolic gesture. It is a calculated pivot to ensure Abu Dhabi's relevance in a world moving beyond fossil fuels. The numbers are staggering. The Al Nahyan family's personal fortune is estimated at $323.9 billion. But the real power lies in how these resources are deployed. Every dirham invested in artificial intelligence, defense, and renewables is a bet on the future. A future where Abu Dhabi is not just an energy supplier, but a global center for innovation. MBZ's playbook is not about preserving the status quo. It is about building the industries that will define the next century, ensuring that the family's influence endures long after the last barrel of oil is pumped. A single glance at the Emirates Palace tells a story that numbers struggle to capture. Built at a reported cost of more than $3 billion, this sprawling complex is more than a hotel. It is a monument to ambition. Marble from Italy, gold leaf on every dome, a private beach stretching over 1 kilometer, and suites reserved for visiting heads of state. The palace is not just a residence or a resort, it is a statement designed to broadcast Abu Dhabi's arrival on the world stage. But the Al Nahyan family's reach extends far beyond architecture. Their portfolio includes Manchester City Football Club, a name that resonates across continents. By acquiring the club and forming the City Football Group, the family turned sports into a vehicle for global influence. Manchester City's rise from mid-table contender to Premier League powerhouse was fueled by investment, but the payoff is more than trophies. Every match, every headline, every championship parade projects Abu Dhabi's image into living rooms from London to Lagos. The club's fan base now spans the globe, and with it, so does the Al Nahyan brand. Culture is another lever. The Louvre. Abu Dhabi stands as a bridge between civilizations, a partnership with France that brought the world's most famous art institution to the Gulf. The museum's domed silhouette floats above the water, sheltering works by Da Vinci, Van Gogh, and Monet. It is a place where history and modernity meet, and where Abu Dhabi claims its role as a cultural capital. The message is clear. This is not just a city of oil and steel, but a crossroads of art, science, and dialogue. Behind the scenes, the family's private compounds operate on a scale few can imagine. These are not simple residences, but self-contained cities with their own mosques, clinics, and security. Staffed by thousands, they run around the clock to support daily life and official functions. The compounds are designed for privacy, but their size and sophistication hint at the machinery required to sustain a dynasty of this magnitude. Every asset, whether a palace, a football club, or a museum, serves a purpose far beyond luxury. They are instruments of soft power, shaping how the world sees Abu Dhabi and the Al Nahyan family. In this empire, wealth is not just accumulated, it is deployed with precision, turning prestige projects into tools for influence on a global scale. Today, the Al Nahyan family's trillion-dollar reach shapes markets, politics, and culture on a global scale. As fossil fuel wealth collides with technology and climate urgency, their choices ripple far beyond the Gulf. Power this concentrated isn't just about luxury, it's about who sets the terms for tomorrow. The world may watch, but the influence remains theirs to wield. What would you do with that kind of leverage?